You already know that investing in real estate is a solid strategy for building wealth. If you're considering purchasing your first Arizona-based real estate property or investment property, or maybe even adding to your portfolio, and you're considering Arizona as the place for it, there are some specific considerations to keep in mind when looking at Arizona real estate investments. Hello, I'm Joe Maggiore, owner and designated broker of Desert Dimensions Properties in Phoenix, Arizona. We are a full-service real estate brokerage and property management firm, and today we're going to be talking about some of these specific considerations for investing in real estate in the Phoenix metro area. Now, you probably already know that the Arizona real estate market has been booming for the past few years. Resale numbers have been up, rental rates have been up, everything has been up in the Phoenix market. You've also probably heard a lot of talk about softening prices, a recession, and you might be wondering if those considerations are something that might change somebody's decision to want to invest in Arizona real estate. That's what we're going to talk about. Now, while the housing market has stumbled here in Arizona with interest rates rising, inventory rising, it's important to note that we have not crashed, but rather what we've seen is more of a correction. All of those numbers kind of crept up for a while, but it's interesting to note that interest rates have started to come back down. Our inventory is down significantly. We've got a lot of sellers who have either decided that now is not the time for them, they've taken their homes off the market, maybe they've shifted into some other alternatives. But the reality is, as those inventory numbers have come down upwards of 20%, it's really kind of helped that correction because we have not been flooded with inventory. We've actually got buyers and sellers approaching much more of a balanced inventory, what we would consider a balanced run rate of properties that are on the market and how quickly those can be absorbed by buyers. For a short time, homes were selling for upwards of 10 or more % below the list price, the asking price. And for a while, I think there were some real great opportunities for buyers to kind of jump into those. But I also think it's really important to note that recently, within the last couple of weeks of this video, I've run numbers for investor clients, and we've noticed that now properties are selling at much more closer to list price. 95, 96% of list price, meaning buyers are able to get these homes at some number off of what a seller is asking for, but instead of it being 10, 12, 14%, that number is now looking like 3, 4, 5%. And the reason for that is, as buyers have become a little bit more weary, sellers have become a lot more conscientious about their pricing. The "it's worth this, ask for this" strategy has gone by the wayside, and now it's worth this, let's list at this and see what we can get. So in addition to home prices as a consideration, what rental rates are currently looking like and are really forecasting for the next few years, that is a huge part of whether or not Arizona is the right place for you to buy. Really, it's a consideration for any area you're looking at. So in addition to considering purchase price, what it's going to cost you to get that property, it's a really important consideration when you're talking about an investment property. What are you going to be able to make? What is the cash flow going to look like? How much will you be able to make on rental income above and beyond your mortgage expense if you mortgage the property? That's really what the focus is, especially in Arizona right now, where we're seeing prices softening for resale, but really remaining very strong for rents. We've talked about some of the financial considerations when investing in real estate as an investment property. And a lot of those things will apply really regardless of where you're looking. But let's talk a little bit about Arizona. What makes Arizona special? Why is it such a booming market for investors, renters? Why is that activity happening here? And really, there's a few factors to consider. First off, home prices are relatively reasonable in the Phoenix metro market. If you look at us compared to a lot of other national markets where they've got this same type of activity and same type of velocity, we are relatively reasonably priced. That means that we have a much lower entry cost for people that are looking to get into this and start with their first property. Or if somebody's looking to pick up multiple properties, that dollar tends to go further here than it does in other markets like Colorado, California, areas of Texas, things where people are seeing a lot of that activity. The second thing is our rental rates are going strong. They are gangbusters right now. Rental rates are high. There's really not much that is forecasting that they're going to come down significantly in the future. And as we see this resale market where things have softened and rates are up and buyers have kind of dropped out, that has basically had the effect of pushing a lot of potential buyers back into the rental market. So we've kind of got these factors that are keeping people in renting, which is really helping us to keep our rental inventory low and keep rental rates up and make that rental inventory so desirable, which is exactly what you want if you've got an investment property. So next is growth. Really, the greater Phoenix market is relentlessly growing. It has been for so long. I've been here for over 25 years, and in the entire time that I've lived here, there has never not been a story in the news about a new plant that's opening, or a company that's relocating, or creating a new headquarters, or doing something that is going to drive industry and drive workforce to our market. That is a huge factor in our real estate market, very specifically in our rental market as well. We have people that are coming here for a few years for contract jobs. We've got people who are coming here from other areas that want to rent for a while they get the lay of the land before they decide to buy. While that growth in that industry is really fueling so much of our real estate market, there's a large part of that that's also being fueled by renters, people who are looking for something for a few years, which is great if you own rental properties here. That's exactly what you're looking for is that type of tenant. And then last, finally, our humble brag, our weather. We tend to get extraordinarily pleasant weather for most of the year. Now, anybody who's been in Arizona or in the Phoenix market for a while will tell you that we have some time in the summer that is less than pleasant if you're going outside, but really outside of a relatively short stretch of time where we deal with temperatures, we deal with air conditioners that are struggling, the rest of the year, we have extraordinarily wonderful weather. We tend to see very moderate winters, springs, falls. We don't have to deal with a lot of the other natural disasters that kind of plague other areas. Very specifically, if you're an investment property owner and you've got to deal with excessive snow and plowing, you've got to deal with damage to roofing. If you're in areas that are prone to flooding or earthquakes or, wind and hail damage and things like that, they're just things that don't occur very regularly for us here. So it's great because there is always that draw of people that want the weather here. But if you're on the back end of things and you own a rental property, it's very common that your most likely culprit that you're going to deal with is an air conditioner that's more than 10 years old that's going to kick it this summer. But those things tend to be a lot more manageable than disaster type things that can affect a lot of other areas where rental markets are also doing well. We kind of have this combination of all these factors that come together. People want to be here. Our pricing is reasonable. Our rents are great. And it's a desirable area that does not have very much by way of natural disasters. You roll all of those things together, and it really speaks to why Arizona is such a great market for investors and people want to invest in rental properties here. Now, we just covered a lot of information and not a lot of time. If you have questions, we have answers. We are very friendly to inquiries where maybe you're kind of considering or you're thinking Arizona might be the place. Feel free, reach out. You can find us online at desertdimensions.com. If you like this video, hit like. If you want more videos, smash that subscribe button. Reach out any way you're comfortable. We'll be happy to get you more info.